We could take care of any lingering business in the realms.
Or investigate those pieces of Asgard.
Either way, we're with you, brother. Lunda also mentioned there's going to be a get-together to honor Brock's memory at Rab's Tavern in Svartalfheim. I'd like to go.
Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Krasfelder.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Mimir, what exactly did you promise the Lars bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying.
Not now.
Your master is no more! Be at peace! Have it your way, then.
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out. It's strange. There are still signs of the world serpent all over the lake. But we saw him disappear at Ragnarok.
That could only mean the legend was true all along. That blow from Thor sent Jormungandr straight back in time. A younger Jormi, fresh from Jotunheim, would grow into the serpent we know.
When we first met the snake, you said that he found Atreus familiar. Perhaps they met in Jotunheim.
Perhaps so, brother. We'll have to ask the lad for that story when we next see him. Freya, fancy a riddle?
If you fancy a boot to the head.
Riddle solved.
my god!
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
Circling back to the topic of prophecies brought about by the efforts to avoid them, I think I can recall such a story as you mentioned, brother. A Greek tale for the stage. Rather lurid, but very popular. You know the one?
Every Greek knows the tragedy of the Theban king.
Yeah, word gets around about that sort of thing. As I was saying before about Hlasvelka, it's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hell's Eagle wants to retire?
Enough.
We'll
We will
just
continue.
pick this up later.
When Jormungandr attacked Thor in Asgard, it seemed personal somehow. But there's no way they could have met before that, is there?
I've been pondering that, and I have a theory. We know the lad spent his time in Jotunheim learning soul magic. Perhaps the serpent figured in.
You mean Atreus placed some other giant soul into him? Someone who already hated Thor to begin with?
Exactly! Though that doesn't narrow it down much, I grant you. I wonder if Yorm even remembers after all this time who he once was.
Hi, Kratos.
Shield strike, now! Incoming! I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what could be ahead?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere.
Come here. I gotta tell you something.
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Incoming! Above you!
Enemies to your left! Good riddance!
off, man! You've got this!
Alka!
Last enemy!
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed.
Freya, when Hildisvini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofer.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar.
Were you serious before, Mimir? Grasfelger truly wishes to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be hell?
Apparently so. She just requires relief. Someone else to step in and become hell, as it were.
Not exactly an office many would wish to occupy.
Aye. Terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked.
Mia, you may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back
Hold on.
to that
Prepare for battle.
Bifrost, behind you!
Yeah.
wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us.
Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down in death or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantics, you see.
Well, seems like a good time to get back to that story you asked for, brother. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions.
Aye, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. That's enough for the time being.
To Vanaheim, then.
Sounded like Lady Sif managed to convince the old boar to shelter the Aesir refugees.
It was his idea.
Oh?
To foster peace among the Vanir and Aesir.
That's brilliant. Shifty bastard must be trying to prove he can out-diplomat me.
At least he's not convincing her to marry someone, like some other diplomats would.
A deservedly low blow, Your Majesty.
Anytime.
Freya, you spoke of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin, disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freyr had ever seen.
This separated Freyr from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freyr ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little friend.
Regarding Kratos, Freya, welcome back. Mimir,
Lady Sif,
Freya.
it speaks volumes seeing you here in person. The first of the Aesir to visit us in peace.
Really, Your Majesty?
It's the capacity of the Vanir's forgiveness that speaks volumes.
we know Asgard was more than Odin and his Einherjar. They'll help us rebuild. They're more than welcome to stay.
Aesir and Vanir living together. I never thought it possible.
I imagine a severe lack of options for the Aesir helped ease things along.
Oh, Mimir. It has truly been a pleasure not listening to your prattling commentary for the last 100 winters.
Well, excuse me, milady.
100 winters of Mimir bleeding at court? I think I'd rather be exiled.
Indeed. Oh, the stories I have.
Really? Do tell.
Well, everything appears to be in order here, diplomacy administered, and all's well. Let's leave these two to their planning, shall we?
Back to it then.
Careful, brother. You're covered in bifrost.
Keep an eye on that tail! Alka! Left side incoming! Alka!
On your left!
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing.
Kratos, hon? Hey, we got a matter to discuss.
Thanks for collecting that.
Something else I recall about that Greek play I mentioned, if you won't take offence to the critique. As a work of performance, it consisted almost entirely of watching people give speeches and receive terrible news. Might have been nice to see more events dramatised instead of described.
It is Greek tradition for a story to unfold in a single time and place uninterrupted. It is more clear.
If you say so.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Shield strike now! Right flank! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Seems for every camp we destroy, we find two more.
It's almost impressive.
As I was saying about the laird and his brother, all summer they'd upheld their oath to avoid the touch of woman. Yet here before them stands a fair maiden in need of their help to cross the river.
Hold. We will finish later.
Let's pick this up later then.
I look forward to exploring Alfheim and not having to fight elves.
Oh? What makes you
They've
think that's
united,
an option?
haven't they? What possible reason would they have to attack us?
Sorry to say, but there are still plenty of elves out in the Barrens eager for conflict.
But why? Freyr united them. They fought together at Ragnarok.
For those who have spent their lives in combat, peace is not always an option.
Covered in Bifrost! Good hit, brother!
Asgard!
This is truly thankless work.
It must be done.
I'm sure the civilians were protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream.
Hi, Kratos.
Can't believe we missed this.
Wait a bloody moment. Is that?
Thor's hammer. And his daughter.
I'll make you proud, Dad.
Well, good for her. As I was saying about the laird and his brother, all summer they'd upheld their oath to avoid the touch of woman. Yet here before them stands a fair maiden in need of their help to cross the river. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed?"
Let this wait. Stay alert.
Auka!
Careful, brother! You're covered in bifrost!
I feel bad for the Asgardians, and even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such profound betrayal.
Aye. Their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding. Finishing my story from before. The laird had broken his oath by carrying the maiden across the river, and his brother quietly stewed until he could contain himself no more. How could you do it, brother? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony? The laird just smiled. Brother, I said that last day. Carries it still. Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed.
Come here. I gotta tell you something. From behind!
I believe that was the last stronghold of the Aesir.
So, Odin's oppressive ways have finally ended.
Are you satisfied?
Yes. Perhaps the realms may finally find peace and healing. What's in Svartalfheim?
We may have missed something.
I'm with you.
Kratos, hon? Hey, we got a matter to discuss. Ragnarok armor's on the house. We'll call it a commemorative piece. Hmm?
What is wrong?
No, nothing. It's just, don't know if you've heard, but we're gonna say goodbye to Brock in Svartalfheim.
A funeral?
Yeah. We're meeting at Rab's Tavern in Nethervalir.
We will be there.